Hey there, Andy Collins with you for another session of Nail Guitar Licks. It is all about giving you little sources of inspiration to get you going with your own lead guitar and licks. If you're a beginner, it gives you a starting point for getting your lick library going, and if you're a player who's been going for a while and familiar with your scales and stuff, it gives you just that little nugget, that little starting point to get creative for the day with a starting lick. So, what are we looking at today as far as our lick goes? It is from Shelf in the Room by Days of the New, and a cool acoustic song. I'm using my electric today, but the premise is still the same. It's all about the phrasing, about the lick. It doesn't matter whether it's on acoustic or electric, your phrasing's still phrasing. So here's the lick for you. Cool stuff going on in there. I'm going to break it up into two parts. Here's the first section, nice and slow. Okay, so what are we working with? We are working with our, what I like to call, or what many people will call, the root 5 position of our D minor scale. Sounds techy, it isn't really once you get it going. Check it out on Nail Guitar Skills if all of that sounds a bit hazy to you and you want to have a bit of foundation for what we're looking at here, so it isn't just a bunch of notes. So here we go. We have our first finger on the 3rd fret to start with, and we're going to hammer onto the 5 on the A string. And then we're going to get 3 on the D. There we go. Now I'm going to slide our 3rd finger from the 5 on the D up to the 7. And now we're going to get our 1st finger on the 5th fret on the G. So we've got, it's almost as if we've sort of got the same thing repeated twice. The same little pattern there, that little sort of L shape. So there's our first bit. And the second time, almost the same. We're going to do the hammer on again. And our 3rd fret on the D there. And we're going to slide once again from the 5th fret on the D. We're going to go up to our 7th fret. Now, we're then going to use our 1st finger on the 5th fret. And we're going to then jump back down to our 3rd fret and do a pull off to open. And then 3 again. And then we're going to get our 3rd finger on the 5th. Seems like a lot of notes so far. I'll break it all down for you, so I'll put it back together. So here we go. First bit. So here's the second bit. So almost the same as the start for the first time. Sliding up from the 5 to the 7. 5 and jumping back, and 3 with the pull off. 303 and now the 5 on the A string. Cool little thing, that, just that little. Alright. So there is our first section. A little bit of changing around positions to get you going, which is a really good thing, getting used to having to do those quick jumps around the place. The second section is, now you can do this how you want. There's kind of, you know, you can slide some notes, you can jump around, all that sort of thing. But this is how I'm doing it. As always, it's just a starting point for you to get your own licks there. So if you're a Days of the New fan, don't jump up and down because I haven't got the exact phrasing of it. So the first section is, I really like this. We've got a triple pull off. We're going to go from 3-0, then 3-0, then 3-0. Cool licks in that. Pull out your acoustics. And we are in drop D, by the way, here. If you're wondering. There it is, the big drop D. Then we're going to slide from our 3 to our 5. And then we're going to jump back to our 3-0. Now you could do that with your 3rd finger and then have that 1st finger ready there. That's what I was talking about with the different ways of playing it. And then we're going to do the same thing on our D string, which is actually going to be the same thing but up an octave. So you put that all together. can do a pull off on that as well. That's where those options come around. Still playing the same notes, but it's the phrasing of it, the articulations. That is a really cool idea right there. You can make some really cool riffing ideas out of just that concept of having the same thing on the same frets on different strings. Some really cool tool licks that use that sort of idea with your drop D action. So check out some Tool for that sort of thing. But there you go. That's what this is all about, the nail guitar lick stuff, about leading you onto, you know, new ways of inspiring you into licks, just getting that little spark. All of these little licks that I give you here are ones that I've found myself have inspired me to be able to, you know, just sit there for hours with that little starting spark. So that's why I pass them on to you. They're not there as a, you know, some mechanical thing where I'm like, take these and they will work for you on some sort of, you know, guest level. I'm giving you these licks because they've worked for me. They've given me a good spark of imagination for writing licks, or, you know, just having good fun there with ideas on the guitar. So there is the second section there. So the first bit as well.